Welcome back. In the previous video, we understood how do we use column data profiling in ETL testing validation. By the way, what is column data profiling? In column data profiling, we'll create the logical sets of the data for both source and the target, compare that logical set of data instead of comparing the entire data. We can do that in multiple ways. We'll see a couple of them as a part of our hands-on now. Okay, I have logged into MySQL, and in the previous video, while doing the hands-on for the record count, we have already created source table, target table, and a target table with little bit of issues. So we'll use the same thing, that is employee source table, employee target table, and employee target table 1, and understand how do we do the validation using the column data profiling. Let me go ahead and select the records in source. How many records are there? 17 records are there. In the real life project, you may have millions and millions of records. It will be very difficult for you to compare. What we can do now is, instead of comparing all the records of a source with all the records of target, we'll group by on a department ID and a source table and compare the results of the source with the target. Let's get started with that. Okay, we grouped by department name. For developer, we have 8, HR 2, sales 2, tester 5. This should be the ideal count for each of the departments. Now, let us do the same thing on the target. Okay, there you go. So this is the target table. We are grouped by on the department name, and we get the same count for each of the departments. Since there is no transformation involved with the filtering, the number of records should match between the source table and the target table. We can see number of records are 4 here, and we can see number of records are 4 here as well. And the count for each of the department should also match. You can see 8 here in the source table, 8 in the target table, 225, 225 in the target table. Awesome. Instead of running the 2 queries, we can run and get the result in 1 query, right? Let's do that. Okay, let us do the group by on the department name for both source table and the target table and compare the results of source table with the target table. How am I approaching this? If you see, I am joining EMP source with the EMP target. What kind of join I'm doing? I am doing the left join. Why am I doing the left join? Because we want all the records which are there in the left table, but which are not there in the right table. If there are any issues, this will help us to identify. And I'm grouping by on the department name in source table also, in target table also. Let's execute this. Awesome. Everything is matching here. Developer, HR, sales, tester, 8, 2, 2, and 5. Wonderful. There are no issues here. What did we do here? Instead of comparing all the records of the source table, we compared only few records of the source table with the target table by using group by. Let us take one more example here. Instead of grouping by on the department, let us group by on some other column. In the previous query, we did a group by on department name. Instead of that, we are grouping by on city. Let's do that. Okay, so we do have some of the records with the blank values. That is the reason it is grouping by on blank. We have 3 as a count there. And Bangalore 4, Chennai 2, Delhi 1, Kolkata 3, Mumbai 2, Pune 2. Let us do the same thing on the target table. Wonderful. You can see we got the same result. That means say that there are no issues. Again, if you would have compared all the records of the source table with all the records of the target table, we would have compared 17 records with 17. Instead of that, we're grouping by on the city and comparing the results. Since both the numbers are matching, there are no defects here. Let us accomplish this with one query. Again, how am I doing? I'm performing a left join of source table with the target table. On EMPAD, that is using EMPAD, that is because that is the primary key, and I'm grouping by city in both the tables. So you can see instead of comparing one by one, the comparison is already there here. You will know if there are any issues here. There are no issues at the moment. Wonderful. We understood the column data profiling between source table and the target table. In this case, we can see the transformation has happened properly. Target table has all the correct records with the right transformation. Let us take up a table where we have purposefully introduced some errors. That is target table 1. Here I'm grouping by on the source. Now instead of that, I will go ahead and group by on target 1. You can see there is an issue here. Ideally, in developer, we should have 8 count, but here we have 7 because the number of records are not proper in the target table. In case of HR, it is same. In case of sales, it is correct. But again, in case of tester, it should be 5. We have 4 here. This is a defect. We have to log a defect for this. Instead of accomplishing this in 2 queries, we'll accomplish this with 1 query. I am doing a left join here. Okay. So here, if you see source, we have a developer. There is a null here in case of target. SRC count is 1, but that is from the developer, but the target count is 0. There is an issue here. And there is an issue with the tester as well. There are null values for one of the tester. That is the reason the target count is 0. And this is how we will use the column data profiling for ETL testing validation. Awesome. Please practice it. Thank you.